this life and get a bloody on that. Oh man, I still putting in work. Ay. Yeah, I know my worth. Ay. I ain't looking back now. I ain't trying to revert. Still staying on the earth. Ay. Human rebirth. They trying to keep on me, trying to plot on me, hoping that it's gonna work. Got my eyes on the prize. You gotta be wise, Satan rolling around, different disguise. Spiritual eyes, none of that shit. I ain't surprised at all. Wolf in sheep clothing. We got spies, we got some rats, and I'm blessed, dog. Y'all don't get me stressing on these obstacles. Watch how I finesse, dog. Blessed, dog. Y'all don't get me stressing through these obstacles. Watch how I finesse, oh. What's real? What ain't? I've been gone, yeah. I'm in. Now what's real? What ain't? I've been good, and I ain't complaining. What's real? What ain't? I've been gone, now I'm in. Now what's real? What ain't? I've been good, can't complain.
Conversation like the first date. Like one time, yeah. Come on. They say practice social distance, but it's making us distant. So sick of this mask, I wanna throw it away. Baby, I just want with you, and I just want to love you. I don't wanna overthink, baby. And baby, I just want to see you smile. I just wanna take this mask off. I just wanna take this mask off tonight. Mask off. With you, day and night. Me and you. I just wanna
Good vibes in the area. Well, man a fighter from the start. I mean no carry grudge in the heart. Hatred make you turn for your people. Wise up, I feel be smart. DJ, turn up the vibes from the start. Ring tune, pull it up, celebrate cause we no carry grudge in the heart. We no carry grudge in the heart. Everybody feel right, right. Good vibes in the place all night. Cause we don't carry grudge for people. We not have time for your study, no evil. Don't make them catch up with the bad energy. Smiling on your face, but me I tell like them my enemy. How many times you try to cure them? I fi cut them out, that are the only remedy. Everybody go through things. We not perfect, so we not do the blame game thing. Know this trial's gonna come one day. I fi endure, adapt me and sing. Any function must clean, then step out, peel out, jump in a car, tire screech out. GPS it have put in the route. Dream team touch the scene, everybody scream out. Wait up, turn up the vibes from the start. Ring tune, pull it up, celebrate cause we no carry grudge in the heart. We no carry grudge in the heart. DJ, turn up the vibes from the start. Ring tune, pull it up, celebrate cause we no carry grudge in the heart. We no carry grudge in the heart.
Energy them not real, them a fake. But the grass low, so we get to see this snake them. Pass the cutlass, give me the rape. And a long time I don't tell outside the whole of them a fake. Them can't hold me down, cause it's a party night. Good vibes in the air, tonight me feeling right. But about not hypocrite, but about not parasite. Them not show themselves for day, but them come out tonight. Them a vampire, I run from the light. Them just remember every day, them spirit not right. Them a combine evil, too much idle time. Whatsoever in the dark, I feel come in a light.
Turn up the vibes from the start. Ring tune, pull it up, celebrate cause we no carry grudge in the heart. We no carry grudge in the heart. DJ, turn up the vibes from the start. Ring tune, pull it up, celebrate cause we no carry grudge in the heart. We no carry grudge in the heart.
But them no really smiling at me face, me realize. Just give me the strength, me see them by me spiritualize. Still I enduring at this trouble when the pressure rise. Man, I be hustle in at the giddy and be stay alive. Love, sweat and tears, endure self-sacrifice. Still not give up, cause me mind rest on the price. Just give me strength for overcome my enemies. Them full of hatred, them full of jealousy. Man, true to the thing, we no fake, we no counterfeit. I know for them, what them in, what them full of. Be perfect, Israel never quit. Have to be purged in the fire, so me tell you this. Man, true to the thing, we no fake, we no counterfeit. I know for them, what them in, what them full of. Be perfect, Israel never quit. Have to be purged in the fire, so me tell you this.
Turn up the vibes from the start. Ring tune, pull it up, celebrate cause we no carry grudge in the heart. We no carry grudge in the heart. DJ, turn up the vibes from the start. Ring tune, pull it up, celebrate cause we no carry grudge in the heart. We no carry grudge in the heart.
It's a feast. On the dance floor, I'ma be a beast. Get up out of your seats. The Most High called in the sheep. Rejoicing. It's a feast. On the dance floor, I'ma be a beast. Get up out of your seats. The Most High called in the sheep. Rejoicing. Oh yeah. Rejoicing. Rejoicing.
Hey, shalom, shalom, family, Most High in Christ bless. Give us 1 second. Let's see where we at. We live? All praises, all praises. All right, let me get on Facebook real quick. While we do that, family, make sure you share. Share to your mama and them, to your father and them, cousin them, all them. Let's make sure we share this class. I pray that this is edifying and it's going to uplift the men in Israel. All right. I know it's going to be a heavy subject, but, you know, it has to be talked about. Let's see. While I'm buying time. Let's see. Yeah, my phone's on mute. Broken men can't build a nation. And that's a fact. That is a fact. We have to work on ourselves. We have to nurture ourselves. We have to build ourselves up in order to build someone else up. All right. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, we good. We good. All praises. Let's do that disclaimer real quick. You in the spirit, sir.
We are not a hate group. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group. Israel United in Christ is a nonviolent, Bible-based movement. We do not advocate or condone any acts of violence against any race, ethnicity, or gender. We advise that if anyone hears or knows of any plots to cause harm to anyone or to break the laws of the land, you must contact the proper authorities to bring awareness to any possible threat, as stated in Leviticus chapter 5 and verse 1.
All praises. All praises. Let's see. All right, so I'm Officer Danyala, and to my left,
Soldier Malchiah.
all right, like I said, broken men cannot build a nation. So, yeah, man, we got work to do. We got a lot of work to do. We have to build ourselves up. We got to build the women up. We got to build the children up, right? So it all depends on the men. All depends on the men. Yes, of course, the women play a part as well, but you're following after the men. Give me that Genesis chapter 3, verse 19. I believe it's 19. Your desires is unto him. And then we're going to send up prayers. Matter of fact, hold that and let's send up prayers. Let's do this right, all right? I'm anxious, man. I'm anxious, all right? Let's do this right. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread and forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. All right. Also, I pray that everybody that's going through the ups and downs, sicknesses, I pray that the Most High will bring you comfort, all right, in these times, in these trying times, all right? Keep your faith in the Lord, all right? So, give me that in Genesis. We was talking about the men is the priority, is the main piece, the piece on the board that makes moves, right? And the women follow after. It's not excluding the women, right? But read that real quick.
Genesis chapter 3 and verse 16. Mm-hmm. Unto the woman, he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow shalt thou bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband.
And thy desire shall be to thy husband. You follow after your husband, right? He makes the moves, you follow after. This is why I'm saying that the men, broken men, can't build a nation, can't build a household, right? Women, come on, man. We just getting started.
You just dropped it heavy on us from the jump.
All praises, man. This is what I would like for, to come from the class, that we bring awareness of how we move, how we deal here on earth. If are we truly repenting, or are we just here playing church? You know what I'm saying? Are we really dealing with ourselves? Or are we just here for show? Because I know I'm going through it. You going through it?
A little bit right now.
A little bit?
I'm almost on the mountaintop, but I have had my valleys.
Hey, that devil, he departs for a minute and he's back. You know what I'm saying? So we always have to be prepared. We always have to be prepared. But all praises, man. You almost at the mountaintop. You almost. All right. All praises. And I'm pretty sure some of y'all are going through it. Most of y'all, because we Israel. What's part of being Israel if we ain't going through it? You know what I'm saying? So this is to bring awareness of who we are, our character, right? To build up awareness so we can be, what's the word I'm looking for? Just to keep be accountable for our actions. Integrity. You know what I'm saying? We always have to have integrity because the Most High, he can bless you. He can bless you. Black man, Hispanic man, Native American man. He could bless you with the thriving business or the job that you wanted, everything, right? The house, everything. But if you are not built up spiritually, you can ruin everything that you've been blessed with, that we see as blessings, right? You can mess all that up, right? And we're going to talk about that. We're going to touch that, all right? Give me that in Romans 15:4. Enough of me rambling. Romans 15:4.
The book of Romans, chapter 15 and verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
So this is why we study. This is why we have 4 chapters a day. This is why we have class right now, right? This is why we have class 24/7, right? So we can find comfort in any topic, in any given topic. If it's dealing with death, if it's dealing with depression, if it's dealing with stress, if it's fear, whatever it may be, right? I'm trying to stay on topic. But whatever we dealing with, there's classes on it so we can find comfort through the scriptures. Right? We shouldn't have to follow after the ways that we were taught in the world. No longer do we have to follow after that. We have the Most High God and his words to bring us out of most of the things that we're dealing with, right? Give me Psalms chapter 119, verse 50. Psalms chapter 119, verse 50.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 119 and verse 50. This is my comfort in my affliction, for thy word hath quickened me.
The word has quickened me. Bring that definition up of quicken. It said, this is my comfort in my affliction. While I'm going through my affliction, the word quickened me. Let's see. Can the people see that? All right, read the top line.
The Google definition of quicken, number 1, to make alive, revive. Number 2, to cause to be enlivened, stimulate.
All right, so to make alive, revive, right? So we were once dead spiritually. We were once dead. I'm talking about you men. We was out there doing God knows what, chasing after women, chasing after drugs, killing people, fighting, however it may be, stealing, however it may be. We was out there doing the most. But now we have to do a complete turnaround. Instead of hating our brother, now we have to love our brother, right? This is what we agreed upon, coming into the truth, coming into the body. But if we still hold on to that trauma, we still hold on to those habits that we picked up out there in the world, we're not going to be able to build. There's going to be men that follow after you and carry those traits as well. Give me, this is off the list. Excuse me. Sirach, I want to say Sirach 12. It's talking about the men that follow after. Give me 1 second. Uh, 10. Sirach 10. verse 1.
Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 1. A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers.
As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. Read.
And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein.
So those that dwell in that community, we're going to say the community, right? Because we have different schools set up in different communities, right? So those that are head of those communities, people are going to follow. Well, men is going to follow after. They're going to follow after their examples, right? Keep reading.
Verse 3. An unwise king destroyeth his people.
An unwise king, a broken man, destroy his people. A leader that was set up by the Most High, that doesn't take his position serious. He don't take himself serious, can destroy not only himself, but everybody that's around him in that surrounding city or in that community, right? Read that again.
An unwise king destroyeth his people. But through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited.
The city shall be inhabited. So we are here to build up these communities with God's laws. Give me that in Isaiah 9 and 6. And we're going to rehearse the righteous acts until Christ come back. This is our job as men, right? As the scriptures say in 2nd Ezra, as we build up our house, go teach the people, right? And we're going to go into that. I'm stepping away from everything that's written down. I'm sorry.
Let the Lord lead you.
Give me that.
The book of Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 6. For unto us a child is born.
Right.
Unto us a son is given. And the government shall be upon his shoulder.
And the government shall be upon his shoulder, under Christ's shoulder. So as we're waiting for Christ to come back, we are rehearsing the righteous acts. So we are governing ourselves with the laws of God. Because when Christ come back, that's how we're going to govern ourselves, through the laws of God, right? All right, let's go back. Proverbs 3 and 5. So the words revive us from a dead estate, right? From a dead estate. Now, if we use these words, if we utilize our time, we study, pray, apply, you know what I'm saying, go to our leadership, this, that, and the other. If we utilize what the Most High put in front of us, he's going to revive us, bring us back to life, get us out of that dead mindset, right? Give me that.
Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart.
Trust in the Lord with all thine heart. Here we are. We repented. We've been in the truth for 3-4 years, maybe even longer than that, because there's brothers that's been here for almost a decade and still is a member. Still is a member. No rank, no works, just a member. It's something wrong with that. Now, don't get me wrong. There's brothers that's, above age that, they just waiting for that time. Don't get me wrong. But they still be active. They still got a good spirit about them, this, that, and the other. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about men that are not getting they stuff right. Excuse my language. They shadiggity. They're not getting their stuff right. And they still to themselves, don't want to communicate, don't want to build, don't want to do anything. Right? But follow after the cares of the world. So, lean not to your own understanding. Read.
Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not to thine own understanding.
Lean not to your own understanding, because that's what got you out there in the world anyway. That's what got us into slavery. That's what got us into captivity, because we leaned on our own understanding, right? Whatever you've gone through, where if you lost something in your life because you lean onto your own understanding. Right. We cannot build, men. We cannot build or we cannot nurture anything if we're leaning off of our own understanding. The scriptures is already laid out for you. The blueprint is already laid out on how you can build this community through God's laws. We just have to follow it, people. We just have to follow. But nobody's going to follow suit until the men follow suit, until they get their stuff in order. This is why it's important for the men to heal, to build. That's the only way. Give me that in Proverbs 4 and 7.
Proverbs chapter 4, verse 7. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom.
Therefore, get wisdom. Wisdom is the principal thing, the most important thing, right? You can, like I said, you can have that job. You can have a prospering business. You can have everything you need, but without wisdom, you're not going to prosper. Without wisdom, you're not going to prosper. So with all, get wisdom. Wisdom shows you how to be prudent. Wisdom shows you how to maintain anything. Anything, your house, your relationship, the congregation, however it may be. This is why it's important for us to get wisdom. Read that one more time.
Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. And with all thy getting, get understanding.
Get understanding. The scriptures, they're here for us. This is why we read Romans 15 and 4, because it brings us comfort, because whatever we're dealing with, the Most High got it for us. Script by script, examples after examples. This is why it's important for you to study, pray, apply. Stay in your book. Seek him 10 times more, because whatever we're dealing with, pretty sure it's in the Bible, right? Give me verse 8.
Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 8. Exalt her, and she shall promote thee.
Love wisdom, and she will make you great. She will exalt you. She will make you great. Read.
She shall bring thee to honor when thou dost embrace her.
And she brings honor to your name, to your legacy. Like I said, it's already there for you. The Most High got it laid straight for you. But for some reason, we follow after our own understandings. We lean on to our own understandings. We allow that nigga man to resurface, right? And it's I'm finna go on my rant, but I noticed, like, I'm just saying, Israel, when we don't want to deal with something, we just ready to get rid of it and wanted to start off new, right? And I'm saying this for like a house because, been doing some work around the house, right? People get frustrated with their own house and be like, I'm ready for a new one. And one of the things is because they don't know how to repair it. They don't know how to maintain it. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed that, soldier? When you get fed up because you don't know how to build it up. So you move on to the next. And that's in our relationships as well. We don't know how to fix the issues that we're having in our relationships. So what we do, we go off and look for something new.
That's how we try to cope.
That's how we cope. Oh, something new is going to be better. I'll just get something new. I'll just deal with that. No, we have to learn how to deal with the issues at hand and build. That's what's going to make us prosper in our captivity. We so spoiled, we think we just go on and get a new wife, or go get a new car, or go get a new house, or whatever it may be. We don't want to deal. I talk to brothers, single brothers, and they're like, oh, the sister got to be like this, and the sister got to be like that, and this, that, and this. I said, okay, well, what if there's not a sister out there like that? What if there's a sister that, she's not supermodel status, but her spirit is beautiful. And when she speaks, she can lift you up. She's not here to yell at you. She's not to belittle you. She's here to build you up. You can hear it in her, how she moves, how she take care of herself. And she's willing to take care of you. She may not have an ass. She may not have, the breast. She may not have, you know what I'm saying? She may not have all that you acquired on your list, but she got all the other things that can build you and your children up and your community.
Talking about all that stuff that eventually starts to sag.
Yeah, that eventually starts to depreciate in time. We look at the stuff in front of us, right? But what if we just look at our relationships, the people, our spouses, our house, everything? We look at that as, okay, I see that and I want to build from that. This is what I can build with. But no, we want the glitz and glamour. We want the glitz and glamour of everything. And not look at what's going to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Beneficial. It's not going to be beneficial, right? Come on, man. Where was we at? Verse 8. Okay, so give me Micah 2. Micah 2. That's us too. A dog. Here's one for 1,300. What the hell is this? What are we talking about? Darren Crockett, you got me. I don't know. I don't know what we're talking about. Hey, shalom, shalom, IUIC Arkansas. Shalom, all praises. All right, go ahead.
Verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
Micah chapter 2 and verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest.
This is not our rest, right? This is not our rest. We have to work. We have to put in that work, people. This is not our rest. So coming to being revived from the scriptures, being revived from the word, and we have to look and examine on ourselves. Give me that real quick. Hold that. Give me that. We have to examine ourselves in order for us to get in motion, or look at ourselves and see if we are, if the fruits that we bear, the fruits according to Scripture. Okay, us getting new housing. Okay, all right, I got you. I'm with you. We'd rather settle for that, right? No land. Like if you get a new house nowadays, you barely get land, you barely get square footage, right? And then the lots they're extremely high, right? Rates, interest is up right now. We'd rather do that than to deal with our house, deconstruct our house. Matter of fact, I got that in my notes. Deconstruction. Look for that real quick. Deconstruction. I want that definition. We rather buy a whole new house than deconstruct our house, right? Same thing with our relationships. We rather deal with deal out of marriage, right, than to deconstruct our marriage. And then Dean Crockett. Hey man, you want to get a Darren Crockett, man. You got to get a Israel name on here, man. He got Christ on his profile picture, but all right, that's all I'm gonna say on that. All right, you got deconstruction.
The Google definition of deconstruction: a method of critical analysis of philosophical and literary language, which emphasizes the internal workings of language and conceptual systems, the relational quality of meaning, and the assumptions implicit in forms of expression.
A relational quality of meaning, an assumption implicit in forms of expression. So going back, it says a method of critical analysis of philosophical and literal language. I think that's not what I was looking for.
Yeah, it's too many big words.
It's too many big. Oh, snap. Yes, a critical analysis, all right? So examining ourselves. Give me another word, metacognition. Hey, these are words. So deconstruction of the mind, meaning, give me that, what I have you holding real quick. Examine yourself. Okay, examine yourself. Read that real quick.
2 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 5. Examine yourselves, whether ye be in the faith.
Whether you be in the faith. This is where you examine yourself according to you being in the faith. How much you believe in the Most High that He's going to take care of you. How much stressed you are because you're handling situations yourself and not allowing the Most High God to bring peace and rest, right? Examining yourself, right? Read.
Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves? How that Jesus Christ is in you, except ye be reprobates.
Except you be reprobate, right? So we have to examine ourselves. We have to know where we at in our spiritual walk, where our faith lies at, right? We read that in Hebrews 11, where it was plenty of examples of faith, right? The faith led them into righteousness, right? And they were written in the book for it. So just think about your walk and your faith, right? So yeah, hold on to Micah 2:10. Did you get not deconstruction, metacognition? Yes. METACOGNITON. Metacognition. You said there's the definition? Okay. Let them pull it up real quick. If you're having trouble, we already got it. Soldier already has it. So in the scriptures, we call it examine yourself, right? But in Esau's science, and what is that, psychology? In psychology, they call it metacognition, right? Which is the process of examining yourself, understanding how you tick, how you move, how you think, how do you respond to things, right? Metacognition is that in the world, right? You got it? All praises. Read that real quick.
Metacognition, the Google definition. Awareness and understanding of one's own thought processes.
Awareness and understanding of one's own thought process. So the process of thinking of how we're thinking. That's the layman's terms for that, right? So metacognition is examining yourself, right? So one thing that a trait that a broken man has is fighting negative thoughts all day. But you're in a fight of yourself, your own opinions, evil surmising, these thoughts that we fight and we have to push through day to day. If we're dealing with depression and stress, we always have negative thoughts, right? Give me that in Mark 7. Give me that in Mark 7.
Mark chapter 7 and verse 21. For from within, out of the heart of men, proceed evil thoughts.
Out of the heart of men proceed evil thoughts. And this is what we battle with. You have to think about Paul when he's explaining his fight in Romans 7 and in Romans 8, right? We have to look at it like that. Like, we fight negative thoughts, whether it be what was Paul fighting? Lust, evil concupiscence. That's not a everyday word either. Concupiscence, right? All manner of concupiscence, right? Which is going on today, right? Everybody damn near bare naked wherever you go. Would you watch on TV, when you're out there, when you working at Amazon? We talked about that in the other class. That damn, you could be damn near naked working at a warehouse.
Right.
Skin tight leggings and skin tight T-shirt, showing everything. Women showing all their curves, everything. Evil concupiscence, all matter, right? This is what Paul was fighting. This is the same thing, men. This is what we deal with, right? We fighting evil thoughts throughout the day. And we have this big, heavy burden on our shoulders because why? Because we are the shot callers. We are the movers. We are the major piece on the game, right? And everybody follows after. Your wife, your children, right? They follow after. And with that, if you're over a congregation, if you're a leadership, if you're an officer, if you're a soldier, because people, when they ain't got no, they soldiers, they know nobody. No, you're a soldier, you have rank, you are leadership, right? It may be different in different schools because there's more, there's more officers here, or there's more men of rank here than they are here. But please believe, if you got rank, you are considered a leader. You are considered to make a difference in our communities. All right. So I went off. I veered off for a minute. I veered off. Bring me back. Michael. So the evil thoughts, fighting negative thoughts. That's what we do. We have to get rid of those evil thoughts. Keep reading in Mark 7.
For from within, out of the heart of men, proceed evil thoughts, adulteries, fornications, murders, thefts, covetousness, wickedness, deceit, lasciviousness, an evil eye, blasphemy, pride, foolishness. All these evil things come from within and defile the man.
All these come from within, from your flesh. As Paul say, this is from your flesh. We have to fight. Romans 8 is a whole chapter of him dealing with his spirit and fighting the flesh. That's all it is. So when men are being broken, and they have to, and they don't allow, if they don't deal with their pride, right? They don't deal with the foolishness or an evil eye towards a brother, an evil eye towards a sister, right? Deceit, wickedness, all these, if we do not battle these, this makes us broken. And we cannot build someone, and we can't pass down those fruits to the next person, to the next men. It's going to destroy the nation. It's very important for us to examine ourselves, to fight those evil thoughts, right? Another trait, not being confident anymore. So what is the word for that? Self-esteem, low self-esteem. Thank you, sir. Having low self-esteem. We have no confidence in ourselves. We have low self-esteem. We allow those evil thoughts to bring us down, knowing that we are great. We are kings. Give me, still hold Michael 2. Give me Revelations 3:11. We are kings on this earth. And knowing that through the scriptures, we should never let somebody take our crown. We should never let our mind, the flesh, allow to take our crown, our position, our rightful position here in this kingdom. Right. That's the kingdom to come. Read.
Revelation chapter 3 and verse 11. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast.
Hold fast what you have. That understanding. That hold fast to it. Right? Read.
That no man take thy crown.
Let no man take thy crown. You have to look down the whole time you outside, man. They everywhere. Got you. Yeah. Yeah, it's we in Babylon. Sodom and Gomorrah as well. It's everywhere. Darren Crockett. Let's see. I'm looking at the chats real quick. So yes, you don't want nobody to take your crown. You don't want yourself to hold you back from getting your crown. These are things that a broken man has to deal with. Low self-esteem, fighting evil thoughts every day, all day. Right? Wondering what people may think about them if they try. A man cannot be innovative and take things to the next level, worrying about the next person, how they feel and what they think. If they tell you no, okay, you know, no. Still keep it pushing. Still take it to the next level. I be telling brothers that all the time. Don't worry about if and I'm saying in the sense of they worry about what leadership is going to say. Oh, this brother, what's the worst we're going to say? No. Not right now. We have something in store for that. Matter of fact, I could probably put you in head of that office since you got your stuff all laid out. We don't think about stuff like that. We just worrying about, oh, we getting laughed or scorned. Or, you know what I'm saying? That evil, that flesh, we start the battle. And those evil thoughts come to mind. And what it do, it chokes us. It hinders us from growing. It hinders us for those great ideas, those exciting ideas that we can use for the community. It gets shut down by your own self. This is why broken men cannot grow or build a nation. Because first you have to have a vision, right? Give me that in Proverbs. Where there's no vision, the people perish. We got to have a vision. But if we don't want to share that, if we don't want to, contact leadership and try to share the ideas and reach out to brothers and see if we can find people to help us to get it going, there's no way we're going to make it out of captivity. There's no way we're going to be thinking innovative and push to the next level if we don't have that vision, right? I'm saying, look at the bishops, their thought process, their vision, right? We would not be here if without that vision, without the strive and the diligence that they have, being active in these streets, being active to build up men to be just like them, being righteous examples, right? Read that.
Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 18. Where there is no vision, the people perish.
Where there is no vision, the people perish. And you notice when leadership says, oh, okay, let's move out from the house, let's move into a school, let's move into a building. That Negro mindset, that broken man, oh, we can't do that. I can't even pay my own rent. That's broken men mentality.
You'll never get anything done that way.
What'd you say?
You'll never get anything done with that mindset.
You would never get anything done. That's what I said. We hold ourselves back. We are let our evil thoughts control us and not see the bigger picture. Read that again.
Proverbs chapter 29, verse 18. Mm-hmm. Where there is no vision, the people perish.
Where there is no vision, the people perish. So we have to have a vision, people. We have to act on that vision as well, especially if it's beneficial, for our people. There's different walks in this life that needs that stimulation, that needs that visual, the need to see that example. But when you come into the body and you're just chilling, you're not worried about yourself. You're not. One second. As men in this body, you have to worry about the congregation. You have to worry about how you move affects everybody else. You can't just worry about yourself anymore. How you move, the decisions that you make affects everybody else. So if you decide to not want to do something, it affects everybody around you. In your household, in the congregation, all that. If you decide, oh, I don't want to do this no more, it affects everybody. Especially if you've been doing works, especially if you've been doing the Most High's work, and then you just decide, oh, I don't want to do it no more. You give up because you don't build yourself up spiritually, right? Now, that can hinder somebody's growth. That can destroy somebody's growth. You don't know who you offended. So we have to be mindful, men of Israel. We have to be mindful how we move. That's why I said examine yourself. The metacognition, the process of examining how you think, how you move.
I'm going to use that word 7 times this week.
Oh, snap. You talking about metacognition? Yeah. I'm sorry, man. That I had to do a report on that. That was my minor class, Psychology 101. That was my minor. And I had to do a report on that. I was like, this is amazing. And they implement this in school for kids to understand how they think in order for them to think better, which is weird. It's weird. Anyways, give me Micah 2.
Micah chapter 2 and verse 10.
Uh-huh.
Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Mm-hmm. Because it is polluted.
It's polluted. The way of this earth is polluted. We have to depart, and the only way we can do that is by installing God's laws in our mind 24/7. I know Nas came out with a new album, Jay-Z, whoever your favorite artist is, came out with a new album. There's a new what's that? Atlanta Housewives, whatever it may be. I know all that stuff is going to perish. All that stuff is going to get burnt down to the ground when Christ come back. So don't even worry about that. Matter of fact, I want to use this Acts. Give me Acts 5. Acts 5. I want to say 35. Let me get there. Let's see. All right, read verse 34 real quick.
Acts chapter 5 and verse 34. Then stood there up one in the council, a Pharisee named Gamaliel,
yeah.
a doctor of the law.
A doctor of the law. A Pharisee, a doctor of the law, that raised up Paul, right?
Right.
Read.
Had in reputation among all the people, and commanded to put the apostles forth a little space.
All right, so let's see, verse 36.
Verse 36. For before these days rose up Theudas, boasting himself to be somebody, to whom a number of men, about 400, joined themselves, who was slain,
read.
And all, as many as obeyed him, were scattered and brought to naught.
So what he built up, it got destroyed. This is a broken man. This is a broken man that, it said, boasted himself to be somebody, right? These are your false prophets nowadays, right? He boasts himself to be somebody, but what happened? People were killed, and all, as many as obeyed him, were scattered and brought to naught. Read.
After this man rose up Judas of Galilee in the days of the taxing, and drew away much people after him. This is another person that made himself known amongst the people, trying to start off another movement, right? These are two men that started off their own movement, right? Read. He also perished.
He also died. Read.
And all, as many as obeyed him, were dispersed.
They were dispersed. So whatever they set up, they got shut down as well. Read.
And now I say unto you, refrain from these men, and let them alone. For if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught.
If this work be of men, of broken men, men that are after the world, they move after their own thoughts. They lean not on their own. They lean on their own understanding. Excuse me. Right? Read that last part again.
For if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught.
It will come to naught. It will get destroyed. Read.
But if it be of God.
If it be of God, if these men are moving, thus said the Lord, read.
Ye cannot overthrow it.
You cannot overthrow it. This is why you see the growth here in IUIC. After seeing the righteous examples, you have to follow after them. If it be of God, you can't overthrow it. It's going to be here forever until Christ come back.
That's right.
But if you're going to be after men, if you're going to be after broken men, I'm humming in on that. Those that are dealing with things and they're not building themselves up according to Scripture, it's going to become to naught. Read that. Read verse 39 again.
Verse 39. But if it be of God, ye cannot overthrow it, lest haply ye be found even to fight against God.
At least happily you like to fight against God. So the Gamaliel was talking to I think the Sadducees and the publicans that were trying to put I forgot who they was messing with. I think it was Peter. They was messing with Peter, right? They put him in verse 15. Peter. So Peter was like, I'd rather serve God than men in verse 30, right? So these are the Sadducees, the Pharisees that was dealing with Peter. And he was like, if it be of God, leave him alone. Unless you like fighting against God. Because if it's of God, it's going to stand. Right? This is why we have to come out of that decay mindset. Right? Give me that Micah 2:10 again.
Micah chapter 2, verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction.
It's going to destroy us if we're following after what we have known for so many years out here in this world. It's going to destroy us. The ways of America, how we respond, how we move, our thinking process, right? It's going to destroy us from the inside and from the inward parts to the outward parts. Give me 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 20.
First Timothy chapter 6, verse 20. O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust, avoiding profane and vain babblings.
Avoiding profane and vain babblings, read.
And oppositions of science, falsely so called.
And oppositions of science, falsely so called. Now, this part of this part of class, this part of my notes, I wanted to hum in on seeking therapy, seeking help, right? A lot of us don't do that. A lot of the men a lot of Israelite men don't seek therapy. They don't seek help, right? So I have to be aware of what I'm saying to my brothers, right? I am saying seek therapy, seek counsel, confess thy faults one to another, but let it be of God first, right? This is what we're going to go through. These are the scriptures we're going to go through first, because I don't want people saying, oh, he told me to do this and told me to do that. No. Seek the kingdom first. Seek God first. Pray. Fast. Do what you got to do. And if you're still dealing with those evil thoughts, you're still dealing with depression, you're still dealing with stress or suicidal thoughts, however it may be, you're still dealing with that, then go get counsel. Go get therapy. A lot of men don't do that. I had an employee under me. He was an Edomite. He dealt with anxiety. So, long story short, we had to go out on the floor and deal with people. We're more, we were repair guys, we're tech guys. We like to be in the back. You know what I'm saying? We don't like to deal with people because, we so wrapped around technology and this, that, and the other. We just want to focus on that. People, who's people? What is people? That's how tech guys are. So now for our job, it requires for us to go out there, talk to them, small talk, however it may be, do what we got to do and go back to our desk. So with him, he told me that he couldn't fulfill his duties that were required for him to go out there to talk to people because he dealt with anxiety. So in my mind, I'm like, oh yeah, you fired. You can't fulfill your duties, yeah, you fired, whatever. But it's really a thing. He left home. He worked like 2 or 3 hours. He went home, and HR pretty much approved his leave while he's getting therapy for his anxiety, right? He's dealing with pills, therapy, and stuff like that. Us men, as I'm pretty sure, as y'all listening to the story, it's like, that's unreal. That don't make sense. You believe me? You believe me? But it's crazy though, right? Do you see black men doing that? Not at all. I don't think black men knew that HR will approve you if you're going through anxiety like that. Now, don't get me wrong. There was other Edomites. There were other managers, I should say, that dealt with anxiety, and they was using weed for their coping mechanism. Like at night, they will smoke weed in order to go to sleep or whatever it might be, because they dealt with anxiety. And I'm like, this is some BS garbage. In my mind, like, I've dealt with anxiety, and I did it without weed. I did it with God's laws, right? All praises, I was strong enough to deal it, push through with God's laws. I mean, I still deal with stuff. I'm not perfect, but to hear that you have therapy and they got all this medicine and stuff for anxiety, right? Because when you think about anxiety, you think about somebody with a brown paper bag and they doing all this, right? They sweating and all this, right? But no, people really go through stuff like that. And us as men, we have to be vocal about that. We have to put that out there. We have to confess our faults one to another, right? We have to talk often. And when we read that in Malachi 3:16, this is the things that we have to talk about. Hey, I deal with this. I deal with anger. I deal with evil thoughts. I deal with this. I need help. But we ourselves will put that fear in our mind that nobody's going to accept us. People are going to look at us crazy because of mental disorder. That's the best way I could put it. Because we have mental disorder. Because growing up in the world, mental disorder, it didn't mean nothing to mom and dad, to whoever. It didn't mean nothing. And that's why I'm saying, like, you go through mental disorder out there in the world. Oh yeah, you broken. I'm gonna leave you alone. I'm gonna go find somebody else. Oh, you whack. You a weak man. You don't know how to deal with life. I'm gonna go find another person. But us as righteous people on this earth, that we stick in our marriages and we build our marriages up, Lord's will. We find those issues. We hum in on those issues. We fix those issues. We try to find a resolution for those issues. That's what's going to, women, that's what's going to make a man. Matter of fact, I got a video. Let me find that video. Let me see if I can find that video real quick. This is what helps your man to stay strong. It's not belittling him. But when you're out there chewing his neck off and yelling in his ear, that's where things go out of hand. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna send it to you, Officer Shar. It's a TikTok video. Here we go. I'm sending it directly to you. Are you able to load it up if I do that? Sir? I can't hear you. Are you able to load up this video if I send it directly to you? All right, cool. Well, I'll send it to there. So, in this video, I had a few videos, man. Like I said, I was trying to put this together. In a matter of time, I was trying to be more effective than just throwing a lot of videos out in this class. So bear with me, family. Bear with me. See if I can find that other video. Because this is real. This is real, family. These little things, what we look at as little, these things that we deal with impedes our growth. Not impede. Impede, right? Hinders. Yeah, it impedes our growth in our community, in our nation, right? These little things set us back from the bigger picture. I'm trying to find that doggone video. I cannot find it. All right, where have you at? The last scripture. Okay, so the science, right? Give me damn, my notes is on my phone. Yeah, seeking help. So Psalms 107 and 20. Psalms 107 and 20. We got to know first and foremost that God's words heals us, right? I'm not saying go directly straight to therapy. I'm saying search the scriptures, examine yourself, build yourself up, right? Deconstruct your mindset and build yourself up. Hold up, give me Second Ezra 14:34. We're gonna do thus said the Lord.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 14, and
34.
verse 34. Therefore, if so be that ye will subdue your own understanding.
So in the process of deconstructing yourself, deconstructing your mind, right? Read that again.
Therefore, if so be that ye will subdue your own understanding.
You have to subdue your own understanding. We read that earlier in Proverbs 3 and 5, right? We have to trust in the Most High and not lean on our own understanding. So we must subdue our own understanding. Get rid of it. Remove our own understanding. Just take it and just discard that thing, right? Read.
And reform your hearts.
And reform your hearts. That is deconstructing yourself, deconstructing your mind. Right? You got the video? All right, keep reading, then we're going to play the video.
Ye shall obtain mercy. Oh, no. Ye shall be kept alive, and after death ye shall obtain mercy.
You should be kept alive. That's going along with preserve. Like we read earlier, it's supposed to revive us. It's supposed to get us out of that dead mindset. When we actually allow ourselves to go through the repentant process. We go through that repentance process. I'm trying to say it right. Getting rid of our Negro mindset, that Negro 2.0. We remove that. We delete that. Alt Control Delete. We get rid of that, and then we download or upgrade God's laws. That's a plug for Upgrade God's Laws. If y'all didn't
Upload God's law.
Upload God's laws. All praises. Play the video, man.
I don't think my husband respects my position as stepmom.
Let's talk about that.
Your children, the ones that I did not create, they're allowed to do what you do. They sleep all day. They don't come out of the room. They don't do what they need to do.
Wait a minute, hold up. I want you to come over here. I want you to watch this. Let me show you something. Go sit over there. I have a little concern because your sons are not demonstrating that they are learning to be the kind of man I know you want them to be. They're going to demonstrate the kind of man you teach them to be. And I'm not really sure what to do about that. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Can you hear me?
That's how you do that.
That's how you do that.
That's right.
That's how you do that. All praises. And we got to this
man.
point. We got to this point because as you heard the wife, she was like, the kids that you got me watching, blah, 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 blah. That's all I heard, right? That's all you gonna hear. When you start going off, sisters, I'm letting you know, when you start to go on your tangent, that's all we hear. We hear that first 2-3 words, I'm like, oh snap. She's on her tangent again. And then blah, 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 blah. Oh my God, when's she gonna stop? Oh my God. This goes on in the head, right? Man, did I send that text message off? Did I pay that bill? An OG&E? I gotta read scriptures, man. I'm tired though. I'm hungry. This going on in the head while the sister, but the sister, she made it to where she communicated effectively. She didn't bash the man. She homed in on the issue, right? She hummed in on the issue, and she didn't belittle her husband. Understand, sisters, y'all play a part in this as well, and help building your man up to be that man to build up the community, build up the nation. Excuse me. You have a part in this as well. That's what I was saying. Like, yes, it starts from the man, but you have a major responsibility as well. And you have to consider the way you move and how you talk and stuff like that. I'm sorry. If the man is not like that, okay, you have to take it upon yourself. Give me that 1 Peter's. Give me that at first. Because this is what that example was. This is that, I want to say righteous example, but this is close to it. Read.
Proverbs chapter 14 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Every wise woman buildeth
15 and 1, I'm sorry.
Proverbs chapter 15 verse 1. Soft answer turneth away wrath.
Soft answer turn away wrath. Right? Soft answer turn away wrath. Read down some more. It talks about moving the king. I think it's 20 or 12. I'm shooting from the hip on that. But understand how you can communicate. Let me see. Matter of fact, just read 2. Read 2 all the way down to 4.
Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 1. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger.
Mm-hmm.
The tongue of the wise useth knowledge aright.
Uses knowledge aright. As I'm saying, in this example, the sister, she used her knowledge aright. She's like, I know you don't want your man, your little boys to not act. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. how she came out was like, you know what? You're right. I need to do something about my sons acting like that. But when you put that man back to sleep, you put that man back into a dead mindset because he don't want to do nothing. He don't feel like a man around the house. And I'm just saying, it sounds simple the way I'm saying it right now, but you have to look at the fruits. You have to look at the fruits or the reaction of how you move in the house. Try that example. I'm talking to you sisters, and then I'm going to get back to the brothers. Try that example and see how your man moves after you talk to him like that. Or go back to the Negro mindset. Go back to the broken woman. You know what I'm saying? That's another topic. But go back to that and see if that helps, if that works. Is he going to go? I mean, is he going back to sleep? Is he still waddling? Oh, woe is me. Is he finding himself to be busy all the damn time? Right? You have to look at the actions or the reactions of your actions, right? And see if that is effective communication. Keep reading.
The tongue of the wise useth knowledge aright, but the mouth of fools poureth out foolishness. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. A wholesome tongue is a tree of life.
A wholesome tongue is a tree of life, read.
But perverseness therein is a breach in the spirit.
Is a breach in the spirit. And this is where I want to hum in on with brothers and sisters, right? Because that breach of spirit where we are fed up, going back to where we don't know how to build ourselves up. We don't know how to build our relationship. We don't know how to build a community up. We are frustrated, right? So we just wipe it away and want to just deal with something new, right? There's that breach of spirit where that nigga man comes back, right? So now we're yelling. Now we calling names. Now we're everything that's in the book that we said not to do, right? So we have to watch our words, right? So that breach, read that part again. I want to get to the point.
A wholesome tongue is a tree of life, but perverseness therein is a breach in the spirit.
A perverseness therein is a breach in the spirit. We allow the spirit, our faith to be knocked out of that. We checked out for a minute. Then when we follow after our emotions, then we're back too. But we can't give the men, we can't give the women forgiveness. We can't show forgiveness. We want to, instead of, like I said, instead of attacking the issue, we attack the person. Well, if you wasn't so stupid, or what if you wasn't so slothful, or what if you this wouldn't happen. Attack the issue. If you focus on the issue, it doesn't add damage to that person, right?
That's a good point.
This is where you use wisdom. You're attacking the issue, and you bring in a problem, bringing forth the problem with a solution. Right? My elders taught me that. If we're going to tackle an issue, you have to bring forth a solution. Otherwise, shut your mouth. If you ain't got nothing else to say, you got a solution? Okay, shut your mouth. Put a bar over that mouth, right? So we have to be mindful of how we're dealing with each other, right? Peter. So this example that we played, the video that we played, right? Give me 1 Peter 5:3.
First Peter chapter 5 and verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
Neither as being lords over God's heritage, but being ensamples to the flock.
Be examples to the flock. 5 and 1. My bad.
First Peter chapter 5 and verse 1. The elders which are among you I exhort, who am also an elder, and a witness of the sufferings of Christ, and also a partaker of the glory that shall be revealed.
That's not what I'm looking for. That's not what I'm looking for. 2 Peter's. Win the husband over through her conversation. That's what I'm looking for.
First Peter chapter 3 and verse 1. Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives.
They also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives. This is why it's so important for you sisters to get your mind right as well. Because yes, a broken man can't build a nation, but he sure can get himself together with a sister that is not broken as well. If you have a sister that backs you up, when he's down, he's going to get back on his feet. He's going to be that profitable servant. So you play a very important part, right? So if you're following thus said the Lord, you can revive that man. You can revive that broken man, right? Read that again.
Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives.
Be won by the conversation of the wives. Keep reading.
While they behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear.
Coupled with fear. The fear that the Most High is going to jack your behind up, right? Keep reading.
Whose adorning, let it not be that outward adorning of plaiting the hair.
Because the beauty doesn't come from the outward adorning.
Right.
It doesn't come from the earrings and the hair and the popping and smacking of the gum. That's not cute.
Right.
That's not cute. So the outward, the inward, we're talking about the inward. Keep reading.
And of wearing of gold, or of putting on of apparel.
Mm-hmm.
But let it be the hidden man of the heart, in that which is not corruptible.
But let it be the hidden man of the heart, in that which is not corruptible.
Even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit.
Come on. Humble and quiet, read.
Which is in the sight of God of great price.
Of great price. In the sight of God, it's a great price. So it's very important. It's imperative that sisters have to get their mind right as well. Don't sit and wait for the man to build you up. You have to walk. You have a you are being held accountable in your walk as well, right? Let's go to break real quick because I got a phone call. Give me about 2 minutes, Israel. Give me 2 minutes. All right.
it going to the next one. Come up, tell him not to run up. The most high God is keeping more than 100. Big time and he ain't baby, but he number one.
Oh, I can't wait till the feast. Yeah, it's been a long week. Yeah, I need a release from this revolving door. So when they drop the beat, yeah, I'ma move my feet, yeah, yeah. I'ma do my dance, yeah. Yeah, you see my friends, yes. I've been waiting for this all week long. I've been waiting all week long.
It's a feast. On the dance floor, I'ma be a beast. Get up out of your seats. The most I called in the sheep. Rejoicing. It's a feast. On the dance floor, I'ma be a beast. Get up out of your seats. The most I called in the sheep. Rejoicing. Oh yeah. 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 Rejoicing. Oh yeah.
We can move to the left now. Take it back to the right. We can do it all night now. We can do it all night. We can move to the left now. Take it back to the right. We can do it all night now. We can do it all night. I've been waiting for this all week long. I've been waiting all week long.
Bitches blacker than coal, but can't deny my soul. The nation's playing their part because they fit the role. Heaven sent, man, I'm lit to stand on my tippy toes. Christ return, you in danger, my name ain't Mr. Cole. Cause I don't know no limit. The silk on his garment will shock it. Romeo P. Miller, a doctrine doctor got the pill. I see my folks need healing like Dragon Balls. My people scatter. Goku meets Krillin, devoid of hope, but doper than dope. Frankincense and smoke, precept on precept. Remember they hung us on a rope. Prophecy, odyssey, the scriptures paint 1,000 pictures. Burned in the furnace, that's perfect. A pocket for they hit us. But take a look at the ground. The true Jerusalem, the Psalms of David. Look at the sound. Gifted lyrics wrapped in blue ribbon. Fringes swang, I'm on my mic Bibbins. Only difference, repentance. The voice the men feeling.
Yo, blacker to the ground, that's the true essence of beauty. Check my pedigree and learn we the best to do it. Melanin shining, essence of the first man. From the dust of the land, created with the thrust of his hand. He pulled greatness from the soul.
All right, shalom, shalom. Are we back on? All right. Appreciate that, family. Got some calls, and I wanted to make sure that everything was good. I appreciate y'all holding on. Make sure you share. Share. Also, IUIC Oklahoma. A lot of y'all that be on this class, I appreciate y'all support. We are almost at 25K. We are about we at 25.6, right? We almost there. So make sure you keep doing the work. Those that are new to the class that's not aware of it, IUIC Oklahoma on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, share, like, and subscribe. All right. Okay, all praises, man. I appreciate y'all holding on. Let's get back to it. So the science, going in to get therapy, right? Psalms 107 and 20. I'll have to make this quick. because Deacon Joshua is up next.
The book of Psalms, chapter 107, verse 20.
Uh-huh.
He sent his word and healed them.
He sent his word and healed them. Read.
And delivered them from their destruction.
So we have to depend on God's words in order for us to be to repair our minds, to rebuild our minds, to deconstruct our minds, right? We have to depend on God's words to be that tool to do that for us, right? Read, not read, but Wisdom Solomon 16:12. Didn't mean to snap at you either. It wasn't. I was thinking. It was a thinking habit.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16, verse 12.
Uh-huh.
For it was neither herb nor mollifying plaster.
Mm-hmm. Either it was herb or mollifying plaster. This is all medicine, right? Read.
That restored them to health.
Mm-hmm.
But thy word, O Lord, which healeth all things.
The word healeth all things. We have our faith. We have to examine our faith and see where we at. If we're not utilizing God's laws in order for us to change in the way we speak, in the way we move, in the way we receive things, how we receptive to things, you are in the midst of wickedness. You are that broken man, right? So we have to allow the words to work in us, right? When we're dealing with stuff, when we're dealing with our old man, we have to allow the words to build ourselves up out of the old man into a new man, because we are new creatures. We are new creatures when we repent, right? Give me Sirach chapter 38, verse 1. We're going to read the 4.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 38, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Honor a physician with the honor due unto him for the uses which ye may have of him.
So now we have to honor a physician because it's of God. A physician is of God. So a therapist, a physician, a surgeon, however you want to call it, primary care doctor,
Right.
a pediatrician, all that, they are of the Most High. They were set here from the Most High, right? So I'm not against the science that is put out here, right? Everything is of the Most High. But I'm saying let's put God first before we, lose our wits and be like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that, right?
Right.
Go to the Most High for the comfort, for the strength, right? Keep reading.
I'll start over with verse 1. Honor a physician with the honor due unto him for the uses which ye may have of him. Mm-hmm. For the Lord hath created him. For of the Most High cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the king. The skill of the physician shall lift up his head, and in the sight of great men he shall be in admiration. The Lord hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them.
So he that is wise, because with all things get wisdom, right? He that is wise, like I said, I'm not telling you to throw away the medicine. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm not telling you not to go to therapy to get yourself right? I'm not saying that, but I'm saying allow God's words to come first. And we're going to read that. All right. Give me verse 9.
Verse 9. My son, in thy sickness be not negligent, but pray unto the Lord.
In thy sickness be not negligent. This is what we've been talking about all day, because when men deal with depression, we deal with stress, we deal with thoughts, suicidal thoughts, we deal with these things that are detrimental to the nation. We neglect it. We push it to the side because we have to be the mighty man. No, I mean, you're going to have to break down at one time. Either it's going to be before everything happens or it's going to be after you shut down and you go crazy. Don't allow yourself to get to that point. So it's okay for you to nurture yourself, to build yourself up. It says in thy sickness. We're talking about mental sickness. We're talking about physical sickness.
Right.
Spiritual sickness. We're talking about all that. In thy sickness, be not negligent. Do not neglect that. Do not push that aside. Do not belittle the things that are detrimental to yourself, because it's going to be detrimental to your nation as well, right? Keep reading.
But pray unto the Lord.
But pray unto the Lord. So, yes, we honor the physician, but at first you pray to the Most High. Do not be negligent. Build yourself up. Right? Read.
And he will make thee whole.
And he will make you whole. Everything that you're going through, he's going to make you whole. Read.
Leave off from sin, and order thine hands aright, and cleanse thy heart from all wickedness.
Give me a clean heart. Clean and contrite heart, right? So you have to cleanse your heart. You have to do the work. It's not going to happen by osmosis. You have to do the work. You have to hold yourself accountable and deal with yourself and understand the bigger picture. It's not just you anymore. It's the nation. And this is what we tell men out here in these streets, because those men that have the money, the men that are prospering out there in the world, they're like, yeah, I'm not, those curses don't fit me. Okay. We're just gonna scratch the surface. That money that you got, that so-called blessing that you got, it's only happening to you. Look at your other people. Look at the rest of your people, and see how we're struggling. We are in the hoods and the ghettos. You don't live in the hood in the ghetto. You live in a nice neighborhood with other nations.
Right.
The other people that don't look like you. It has to be a reality check for our men to see this. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just you. It's your nation as well that you have to look and consider. Right? That's what leaders do. We consider everyone else. Right? Read.
Give a sweet savor and a memorial of fine flour, and make a fat offering as not being.
Give a fat offering. So we don't do sacrifices, right? We sacrifice ourselves. Hold that. Give me Romans 12. Just for the new brothers and sisters that are online, we do not give sacrifices. There is no temple for us to give sacrifice. So in order for us to sacrifice, we have to do the work. All right? Give me that Romans 12.
Romans chapter 12 and verse 1. I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice.
You present your body a living sacrifice. Just like Christ, he presented his body as a living sacrifice. So now our sins are forgiven because he was the ultimate sacrifice. But following after Christ now, we read that again.
I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service.
Which is your reasonable service. Us sacrificing our life to go out here to the hoods and the ghettos. Go out here to the destitute of our people, right? The brokenhearted, the broken-minded people that can sit up here and cut us and kill us in any given time.
Right.
But the Most High put a spirit on us. The Most High put his angels to protect us when we out here doing the work. Why? Because it's our reasonable service to sacrifice our lives, to do this, to wake up our people. Get your head out your ass. That's the only way. That's the best way I can put it. Get your head out your ass. Right? There's more out there, and that's a lot of work that we got to do. So for you to feel like it's all about you, or man, you being selfish about it, okay. You're part of the problem. You're the reason why our nation. Give me that Jeremiah 5 and 25. Hold that Romans 12, because there's something else I want to get out of that. And then get that video ready.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 5, verse 25. Your iniquities have turned away these things.
I cannot speak today. Your iniquity has turned away these good things, right? This is the reason why we are in our lowest state today, because of our iniquities, because of our broken mindset, the Negro mindset, right? That was made here in America, that was made here on this earth to keep us away from the Most High God. So it's going to be a fight to shake off everything that we've learned here in the world to come back to the Most High God. Are you willing to make that sacrifice, that reasonable sacrifice, right? Go back to Romans.
Romans chapter 12, verse 1.
Verse 2.
Verse 2. And be not conformed to this world.
And be not conformed to this world. Don't worry about what the world got to say about you. Right? We fight, day to day, we fight negative thoughts. We worry about because we have to work that corporate job, or we have to have a business, and we have to appease the other nations in order to prosper. Don't worry about them. The Most High God got you.
That's right.
Be not conformed to this world. Read.
But be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Be transformed by the renewing, the deconstruction of your mind. By rebuilding your mind. According to what? According to God's laws.
That's right. That's
what's going to make you a profitable servant. That's what's going to make you an unbroken man. Opposite of broken, right? Is that the word? Is that the?
That's good enough
is
for
that
me.
The antonym? So we're not being the broken man, because that is detrimental to our nation, right? Renewing our minds so we can build this nation, so we can get the hell up out of here, right? Read.
That ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God.
So we'll be able to discern what is good, what is perfect, right? Acceptable will of God. All right. Play that video real quick.
I'm your host, Dr. Lonnie Joe. Depression is one of the most common mental disorders in the United States and affects an estimated 17 million people each year. Black men are just as likely as anyone to have depression, but less likely to get help for it. Left untreated, depression can lead to chronic conditions like diabetes, high blood pressure, sexual dysfunction, substance abuse, and even death. According to the Centers for Disease Control, suicide is the third leading cause of death for African American males aged 15 through 24. Black men can no longer live in silence and in the shadows of this treatable condition.
So this is heavy. I advise, brothers and sisters, I advise you to watch this video. It's called Depression in Black Men, our health media network. I advise that you check this video out. I really, I was working on the timestamps, but I was in captivity today. I had to do work, so I didn't get my timestamps. But this is one of the key points in the video. If you go to 320 and play the 515, this is another thing. So what he's saying is, yeah, just cue it up, and I'm gonna talk while you do it. So he's saying that depression is one of those things that kills us, the broken man, the broken black man, Hispanic man, Native American man, from dealing with everything in this world, right? It's number 3. It's number 3 in killing. And it's he said we have to break out of the shadows, right? So we neglect depression. We see that we have diabetes. We see that we have high blood pressure. We see that we erectile dysfunction, right? We go through these things, right? I'm not trying to laugh at it, but it's, some people, I just hear it. I'm hearing it in my head right now, but it's real. Brothers deal with that, right? But we neglect depression. We neglect stress. We neglect these things, and it at the end of the road, we die from it, right? And he said it is treatable. These things are treatable. We can treat depression. We can treat stress with the Bible.
Right.
First and foremost, when you seek the kingdom of heaven, we can defeat that with the Bible. But if it's beyond that, if we have to have somebody to monitor you, this, that, and the other, or if you need pills or whatever it may be, you have a physician that said this is treatable. You could overcome this, but we neglect it.
We act as if we ignore it, it will ignore us.
It would just go away. No. All you're doing is building up bad habits that is unprofitable in building this nation, right? Play the timestamp.
Do that. I think there's a more basic way that we can understand depression. And the first point I want to make is that depression is not normal sadness. I'm going to say that again. It is not normal sadness. I think a lot of folks are, I think, too loose with that word depression. They say, oh, I'm depressed. What they're really saying is I'm just kind of having a bad day, a slow day. That is not depression.
There is a difference.
Oh, it's a clinical difference. And so, for example, one way I think we ought to think about this is that you really, truly don't feel like you are your normal self. I think all of us have a sense of, who we are, what we like to do during the day.
Stop.
So, for example...
So he's saying that depression is not normal sadness. So this is where it's important for us to examine ourselves. As he speaks, he is examining himself and describing what depression is. Right? It's not normal sadness, or I'm going through this, or I'm frustrated right now, but it really takes a toll on you. Right? It really takes a toll on you. So, and he said he said clinically it's clinically different than from sadness. This is very, like I said, it's very harmful. If you're having a bad day, okay, cool, right? Call your brothers up, get some strong drink, keep it pushing, right? We're going over the scriptures and make you happy. But if we're dealing with depression, oh, that's a whole nother matter. You don't want to wake up. You don't want to get out the bed. It takes you longer. So I want this water, right? But it takes me longer to go do it because I'm dealing with evil thoughts. I'm dealing with my emotions. I'm frantic. I'm this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? It takes me longer to get that bottle of water because I'm dealing with so much, right? To where that I want to eat more, to where I'm not exercising. I'm not sleeping. This is why you get diabetes. This is why you get high blood pressure. This is why we die at an an alarming rate at an early age. This is why we don't see past 70, past 50, 60, because we neglect this stuff. We thinking this is just life, and we just gonna push through.
It's a slow death.
It's a slow death, for real. It's a slow death. Keep playing.
Sense of who we are, what we like to do during the day. So, for example, when I get up in the morning, I'm fired up and ready to go. I've had a period in my life where I was going through a very, very low period due to the loss of a child. So I was just devastated from the whole experience. So I didn't feel like getting up in the morning. Even though I had a job to go to, I didn't want to. The thing I enjoy most in the morning is a good hot shower. When I was going through this depressive episode, the thought of getting up and turning on the water and stepping into that shower seemed like an insurmountable task. Those are the kinds of things that you can look at to start to figure out, are you really into something where you need to get some professional advice about your mood. Some of the other things a person ought to look at, trouble concentrating. I mean, because of my job, I'm concentrating all the time, but I would.
So he described depression, how he was dealing with depression, how he knew that he was depressed, right? There was a change in the attitude, change in everything, right? He said, I'm chipper, I'm up, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to tackle, tackle the world, right? But then when we're depressed, we don't want to move, don't want to do nothing. I've been like that before. I've been like that a couple of times. I've been like that on the Sabbath. That's very dangerous. Oh man, I don't want to go to war today. I don't feel like getting out of bed. All praises, my wife was there and she built me up, bro. That sister, that example, she was a righteous example at that time. You know what I'm saying? Built me up. I had to do what I got to do, but I went through a situation, and I felt just like that guy. But we have to rely on the words, the scriptures, to come to life, to manifest in us, right? So we can be that example. So it's not just me. Like I said, I'm not perfect. I go through it. But it's to build awareness, because men are not talking about it. Men are neglecting and pushing it to the side. We have to be more open with that. Malachi 3:16. We have to be open about that so we can build each other up. We all we got. We all we got. There was a brother that came in, my older brother. He came in, he just came through surgery, and he was like, man, after that surgery, I felt like, what is my purpose? And when you're going through depression, when you're going through stuff like that, you try to figure out, why am I going through this? Why am I here? These are characteristics. You have to examine and see yourself in these, all right? But the brother came in and was like, I'm dealing with this. I don't know why I'm here. I don't want to be here no more. Like, I'm tired. I ran my course type feeling. Brother came in, we prayed for him. We told him, hey, bro, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy that you made it through the doors, because some brothers don't even do that.
Right.
They'll allow themselves to stay at home and don't want nobody to help them. Prefer that nobody helps them. That is a
deception of the enemy, one.
It's deception of the enemy, but that's a very dangerous place to be. Very dangerous. But going back to the brother, giving him kudos, he came in, and I mean, of course, he didn't say it out in the public in front of the women and children, but the men knew. So as soon as he came in, we stood up, we gave him prayers. We told him, hey, you're not going through this by yourself. We're here for you. You know what I'm saying? If you need us, we got you. We're here for you. So whatever you're dealing with, let us know. None of that's going to take away our brother. While we got a chance, it's not going to take away our brother, right?
That's right.
Give me that in Sirach too, and we're going to slowly end this. Malachi 3:16. Yeah, Malachi 3:16. Read that real quick and then give me Sirach.
Malachi chapter 3, verse 16.
Uh-huh.
Then they that fear the Lord spake often one to another.
We spake often one to another. We got to, man. We have to speak one to another, because I don't know what's going on in soldier's mind. I don't know what's going on in his world. I don't know what's going on with the officer's mind. I don't know what's going on. So we have to speak often one to another in order for us to look out for each other. Hey, man, I know you deal with this. Brother, try to throw back some drinks. Hey, you good? You had that issue, right? But he was going through something, right? Now he's good. He's able to, do a shot or two. You know what I'm saying? Just to be in the spirit, just to be happy, right? Just to be cheerful. He's not throwing it back to be drunk. He's throwing it, you know what I'm saying? So, but what I'm saying is, for an example, is like, hey, before you do that, you good? You good? You got it under control, right? Yeah, I'm good. Okay. All right, cool. And then we look out for that brother. Make sure that brother's okay.
All praise.
Oh man, I need to lose weight. I need to do this. I need to do that. Yes. Okay. We here for you. You want us to run with you? You want us to do this with you? Let's create a group. Let's all do it together. Right? This is what we are here for. Right? Sirach. Give me Sirach 2.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 2, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Prepare thy soul for temptation. This is that temptation. Getting rid of that broken mindset. This is that temptation, because the spirit, like I was saying, what Paul was going over in Romans 7 and Romans 8, that was the flesh that he was battling. That was the flesh he was battling. Galatians 5, 19 on down, I believe. On down to 22. No, 16 down to 22. Those are the fruits of the flesh. And then from 20 to 22 down, those are the fruits of the spirit. Right? I might be skewing it, but
it's close enough.
It's close enough. So Paul is going, this is me going through the mind, dealing with the mind, deconstructing my mind, examining myself, right? We have to prepare our soul. We have to prepare our minds in order to battle and push through these things. Otherwise, we're going to be unprofitable to our nation, right? Keep reading.
Verse 2, set thy heart aright and constantly endure.
And constantly endure. Constantly endure. You have to set up you got to set up the brothers that's around you, your family, your wives, your kids. Because what if you veer off? They're going to have to help bring you back as well. What if you veer off? Your brothers have to bring you back, right? Constantly enduring is being prudent in the matter so you will not fall off. Right? So you can constantly endure through that. Studying 4 chapters a day, watching class, doing flyer missions, being out there to camp, going out to war,
right,
battling these different spirits. This is supposed to keep you focused on God's work, right? Read.
And make not haste in time of trouble.
And make not haste in the time of trouble. Like we read back in Proverbs 15, the broken spirit, right? We making haste in a time of trouble because now we're making haste in a time of trouble because now we going after our own mind. That's why you hear long suffering, patient, right? These are the words that the Most High use. But if you're making haste to make a decision, or you're making haste to move and do something, you're off of your own emotions. You're off in your own mind. So we cannot lean onto our own understanding. We have to trust in the Most High God when we're going through afflictions, when we're going through things, when we're going through depression, when we're going through stress. We don't like it. It's not good, but we're going to have to push through it, right? Keep reading.
Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully.
Take cheerfully. Whatever you're going through, take cheerfully. For one, you're an Israelite. For two, the reason why you're going through it is because you're an Israelite. So the Most High is seeing if you're showing yourself approved. He's seeing if you're about that work. He's seeing if he can trust you with his laws, right? With the glories and the blessings that come from being an Israelite, right? So there's going to be things that you're going to have to get rid of. I know it's rough. I know it ain't right, but you're going to have to go through it, right? Keep reading.
Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state.
And be patient. Don't make haste. Be patient, because you have to see yourself. In order for you to examine yourself, you can't make a hasty decision. You have to sit back and be patient and look at that thing. Why am I going through this? Why am I going through these trials? Pray for me. Pray for comfort. Pray for the understanding. Pray for me to be better so I could be productive for the nation, right? Be patient in order for you to understand that thing. Read.
For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
So we are acceptable men in the furnace of adversity because like gold, when you put it through fire, it's getting all the impurities out of it. That's the same thing with us. We're getting all those impurities out of us, all right? Give me that 1 Peter 4:12. We're getting all those impurities out of us. This is why we go through trials and tribulations in order for us to be humbled in those times so we can learn and grow, right? Read.
1 Peter chapter 4, verse 12. Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you.
So it says, think it not strange. It's not strange. The Most High is dealing with you. It's strange that this is happening to me. At first, this wasn't happening, but XYZ is happening. It's strange, right? No, it's not strange. The Most High is dealing with you. All praises, you can see it. Now, what you see in it, what do you have to do to get over that? Are you putting in the works to get over that issue now? We have to be problem solvers, effective problem solvers, right? Right. We can't point the finger at nobody, right? We have to figure out to solve the issue. That's why the Most High is putting us through it, right? Keep reading.
Verse 13. But rejoice, inasmuch as ye are partakers of Christ's sufferings, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy.
So, but rejoice, be cheerful, like the scripture says in Sirach. We have to be cheerful in these times. All right, real quick, we get ready to shut it down. I pray that this was edifying. Like I said, go watch that video. Go watch that video because there was a part in that video where Don Cornelius, they talked about Don Cornelius. They talked about that he committed suicide from depression. He neglected it. Whatever he was going through, he neglected it. He didn't handle it. He didn't voice it. He didn't talk about it. But his son was talking about why he committed suicide and how it affected him, his son, right? Like I said, as men, we have to be considerate of everything that is around us. So Don Cornelius, we never looked at Don Cornelius like that, right? And I'm just saying, like, you in this walk, you are important just as Don Cornelius, right? Your position in this earth is way far better than Don Cornelius. But I'm saying, for an example, growing up, you never thought that man dealt with depression, right? But men do deal with depression, right? To the point where he committed suicide, all right? Let not that spirit hop on you, because you want to handle these issues. You want to become profitable to build the nation, all right? So I'm going to end it there. Lord's will, I can do a part 2 or something. Lord's will, if the spirit permits, right? I am Officer Danyala, and to my left,
Soldier Malchiah.
Make sure that you like, share the class. Subscribe to IUIC Oklahoma on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and all that jazz, all right? I pray that this was edifying and it helps uplift our nation so we can get the hell up out of here, all right? And with that, I say shalom, Most High Christ bless. Oh, the power hour is next. The power hour is next. Stay tuned, all right? Shalom, Most High Christ bless.